Hello and welcome back to another episode on my channel. My name is Celeste and I am your host and certified life coach. I recently did an episode on how sharing your goals could actually negatively impact your chance of accomplishing them. And this got me thinking more broadly about social media in general and what its impact could be on our self-worth and our ability to achieve our goals. Generally, social media is a place where we tend to share our goals and accomplishments. So what is its impact on all of this? And the answer is not as straightforward as you may think. So buckle up, we've got a lot to look at today. But before we go any further, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss one of my uploads. So let's start by looking at the positives. Social media can be an incredible tool for motivation and inspiration. Think about the role models and success stories that you follow. Platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube offer us a window into the lives of people who have achieved what we are aspiring to in some cases, and watching them can be incredibly motivating. Nowadays, we see instances of entrepreneurs turning their hobbies into a thriving business simply by sharing their journey on social media. Watching content like this can inspire us and fuel our own determination. The access to information that social media provides us is another huge benefit. Online and social media platforms are a treasure trove of courses, tutorials, and free-to-access information. This makes it possible to learn skills like digital marketing entirely through free online resources and courses. And let's not forget possibly one of the most underrated and underutilized benefits of social media, and that is networking. LinkedIn is a powerful online networking tool, and you don't need to subscribe to it in order to get the benefits. With the free version, you're more than capable of connecting with potential mentors, collaborators, and it's even a space for potential employers and employees to meet and network. Keeping all of that in mind, it's now time for us to talk about the downsides. Social media can be a huge distraction. It's really easy to fall into the trap of mindlessly scrolling for hours at a time. Spending hours a day on social media can seriously cut into your family and work time and negatively impact your productivity and time management. This is why it's so important for us to set boundaries for ourselves with social media and to try and not fall into the trap of mindlessly scrolling. The next downside to social media is one that I'm glad to say is slowly gaining more attention, and that is the toll that social media takes on our mental health. Every time we scroll through social media, we see perfectly curated little snippets of people's lives, and we start comparing ourselves to them. This constant comparison of what we're seeing online versus our own life can be so damaging to our self-esteem and can lead to feelings of inadequacy. It's really important to remind ourselves that what we're seeing on social media is not always reality. What we're looking at is little curated moments from someone's life that they want you to see. We even have social media influencers that go so far as to rent sets of private planes that are actually not private planes, but they just want to do it for the gram to make it look like they're living a life that they're not. Be cautious when you're comparing yourself. What you're looking at is possibly not even real. Social media influencers are not a good benchmark of reality. Remember, most of the time they're being paid to try and push a certain lifestyle or product onto you. It's in their name. They're there to influence you. Another mental health aspect to consider is how addictive social media can be, which can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety and disruptions in the relationships in our lives. And lastly, misinformation and information overload are important things to look out for when using social media. The sheer volume of content that we're able to consume in a day can be incredibly overwhelming. And it's really important to remember that not everything that you see online is in fact true. And this can negatively impact our decision making and the way that we perceive the world. You need to be so careful when you make decisions or act on or say things about information that you find on the internet. Misinformation can lead to serious consequences in your professional and personal life if you aren't careful. So I think it's fair to say that social media is not going anywhere anytime soon. And in some cases, it actually forms a crucial part of people's work and livelihoods. So how do we harness the positive aspects of social media while mitigating the negative impacts it has on our lives? Firstly, set boundaries. Allocate certain times in your day when you give yourself access to social media and stick to these. Bring your friends and family on board. Set aside times in the day or when you're spending time together that the phones are down and you'll all be present in the moment and not scrolling. If you're really struggling to do this, you can even get apps that block certain apps at certain times during the day or limit the amount of hours that you can use certain apps during the day. My second suggestion would be to curate your feeds. Stick to following accounts that inspire and motivate you. It's time to unfollow or mute those accounts that are damaging to your mental health and time. I'm talking about those accounts where you scroll mindlessly for hours and gain nothing positive from the information that you're viewing. Do yourself a favor and do a social media cleanse like this every couple of months. Review the accounts you're following and assess what value it is adding to your life by following them. It's also important to be mindful and intentional with your social media use. Before you open an app, ask yourself, why am I logging in and what am I hoping to achieve from my time spent on this app? And my final recommendation would be to take breaks from social media. Periodic digital detoxes can be really helpful in helping you gain perspective on real life versus the curated world you're seeing on social media. It can allow you to live in the moment for a bit and to focus on the relationships and friendships in your life. Take some time away from worrying about what shade of lipstick which influencer is wearing on a given day. It can be really helpful to focus on reality. As I said, we're looking at curated snippets of people's lives, and oftentimes that involves pushing products onto us. These breaks really can help you feel more focused and grounded in your real everyday life. So to wrap up, social media platforms are powerful tools that have the ability to either promote or hinder your personal achievement and goals. By being mindful and setting boundaries when using social media, you can allow yourself the opportunity to harness the benefits while minimizing the negative impact that it can have on your life. This comes back to the idea of living an intentional life. Choose to use social media as a tool to enhance your professional and personal life, not as a distraction to escape it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it useful, please do consider sharing it with your friends and family. I think this is something that we could all benefit from hearing. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video so that you never miss one of my uploads. Until next week, stay inspired, stay motivated, and never stop striving to be the best version of yourself.